Manchester United is having an abandoned place, abandoned arena for players they want to sell, but no buyers. Why is your players settling down at Manchester United without seeing buyers?
Well, I think no doubt we are in a bad place in terms of selling players. No doubt about that. We've had a lot of returnees. You get these players that we felt should be getting, permanent deals from their loan deals. But, it's quite bad that they had to come back. But I think it's not just the players. You get it? If we blame the players, then we are not saying it right. There's a whole lot of factors that goes into why these players are not getting permanent deals. You get it? I mean, Malaysia has just been returned from PSV. PSV told him to come back to Manchester United because they couldn't get a deal with him. Sancho too had to return. Then Antony too couldn't, get a deal with Betis. We are struggling with it. And Rashford too, he's still here, not getting a deal. And Garnacho, which could have, left the club in January, is still here. So there's a whole lot of factors that we need to look at. One of the factors that we need to look at is that we don't have football people. Let's be honest.
How?
Okay, see. Berrada just came in. You understand? The team that in your setup is still new. They are still trying to build a lot of connections with a lot of agents. You understand? It takes more than having players and say, I want to sell them. No. You should have a market that is willing to absorb your guys. There should be clubs where we have people who are ready to do business with us. Build that relationship. You understand? So that clubs can, when you want to sell to AC Milan, you have somebody in AC Milan that is going to accept your player, or PSV, or anybody. You get it? Like ship players too. You understand? So we need to build that relationship. The current recruitment team are falling short in that regard. They are not moving players to club as quick as they ought to go. You understand? And this comes down to relationship. You have to have relationship with other clubs' agents. You cannot just be there and say, oh, you can go and look for club. You go and look for club. No, the club too should be able to talk to suitors and say, this guy is good, come and get him. You understand? And then number 2 is the timing. You understand? The timing of our sales has been poor. We let our players become so unmarketable before we say we want to sell them. I can give you an example. Look at Wan-Bissaka. Everybody knew Wan-Bissaka was good. Even Manchester United still, value him. But the club felt that he is no longer, part of the manager's plan. And instead of using him as an option, they just sold him immediately. That's how to do it. You understand? The moment you see that this player is not somebody that you can give a long term, he's going to be here for the long term, sell them immediately. Rashford could have gone. You understand? It was lack of proper planning and, injury too. Garnacho could have gone. You understand?
70 million.
70 million, you get it? And then Antony too. Antony was because we didn't know what we wanted to do with him. Antony's issue started from the season when the girlfriend started to, say this and that. And before you know it, it was chaotic. If we wanted to offload, we could have done that. The transfer window was still big. We could have spoken to a lot of people. But we always let it drag on and on until we are in a bad place in the market. The value of the players then reduce. It's now seem as if we are hawking the guys. We need to move away from that. And then thirdly, our players' salaries are, very, very terrible. You understand? Anybody who's going to be taking second-hand players is not going to be, want to pay the amount that we are paying them. We have to look for ways to make sure that the wages our players earn, we make them transferable. You get? So that when you want to sell them, the wage won't be a problem. We were hearing that Mason Mount might leave this transfer window. But Mason Mount is earning 250 a week. Who is going to buy Mason Mount, who has not been, a consistent over the last 2 seasons, and with 250 a week wage? All of those things are bottlenecks. We need to work on those bottlenecks and make sure we sort them out. And then our players can go.
But I think your players are part of the problem. If you go on loan to a certain club or a place, I think you should put in your best. If you know that this club you are coming from is not suitable again, they say you are not in their plans again, you have to put in your best for that club to see that you are okay. At least buy you out.
Right.
It doesn't matter how much they are paying you. If Sancho have gone to Chelsea and did excellently well, there is no way Chelsea will allow him to go. They will pay, at least they will pay up. If they are not paying the 350, they will pay 250. But look at what Chelsea is trying to say. They are saying they are even pricing him 150 or 170, because it's not right. It's because he didn't perform well. He didn't perform up to the standard they ought, to perform. Exactly. And that is what happened to Malaysia, what happened to Antony, what happened to all of them. If Antony is there and he was playing like Messi, doing the things he's supposed to do right, I don't think they will break bank for it, because they know that if you can buy somebody that dribbles like Messi, in 2-3 years time Barcelona might come and will cash out big on him.
Exactly.
So I think your players are part of the problem. In fact, they are having the big chunk of the problem.
Well, I think I'm not saying the players also don't have a fault. You get it? I'm just saying we shouldn't peg it all to the players. That's just my point. Yes, I understand that what's it called? Rashford and let's be honest. I think if we want to critically break it down, Rashford did have a good spell at Aston Villa. I said good. No, for the level of Aston Villa, I mean, look at Sancho, look at Rashford. You understand?
Sancho had a better season in Aston Villa than Rashford,
but he has been returned. You understand? What I'm saying is that he had a good spell, and Rashford is not somebody that you're going to judge by the time of his time at Aston Villa, because before Aston Villa he had problems and also he was not in the right frame of mind. What's happened with Aston Villa is that they can't spend. If they had qualified for Champions League, they would have been able to spend. They were ready to give Manchester United 40 million for Rashford, but just that they didn't qualify for the Champions League. Now they are now in the PSR danger zone. So they cannot start to splash on players who are not, critical to the situation. That's just the problem with Rashford. And then with Antony too, I think Antony did have a decent spell at Real Betis. In fact, Real Betis are willing to keep him. The problem here is that Real Betis are feeling like they don't know how to renegotiate his salary. You understand?
But you said you got it off to 25%.
Yes, even Real Betis are still having a problem with it. Real Betis does not have a problem with paying Man U 40 million. They want to pay Man U 40 million. I think the agreement with the club is not a problem. The problem is, even though Antony has, reduced his his wage to 25 by 25%, they are still finding, difficulties here and there. And I even predict that I believe he is going to be the first to leave, because you can see Antony is working towards his own transfer. He's behaving well, cutting down wage, talking to the necessary people and everything. So he might leave. And aside that, the likes of Malaysia and the Garnacho again, what we just have with them is wrong timing.
And Sancho that doesn't want to go. I don't know what he's trying to do at Manchester United.
Sancho's problem is peculiar to Sancho. You understand? Sancho's problem is greed. He's not playing as much as he should, and he wants to collect the same wages getting at Manchester United.
It seems like he has another ulterior motive for not leaving, for not bringing his wage down. He wants to stay at Manchester United till the contract will fade away, and then he will collect sign-on fee.
Well, that is going to, come back to haunt him, because imagine us not getting a 1 full year of good football for somebody who your ability is currently in doubt. You are now not playing for a year. I don't think he wants to do that. That's too much of a risk. I don't think he's going to take it. I even believe that all these players will get a move. Just that we need to split things up. We need to split things up, not necessarily on the player sides alone, because those players that are leaving, we aid the ones that are coming. Once you're able to clear the desk, you can put new things on it. You get it? That's what the problem is. Clear the desk. Our board members, the players and everything, they need to work together, get what they need to get right, and get this over the line, and then bring the right players in, and we are good to go.
And I think this is one of the reasons that you guys are not going for the striker or midfielders again. You guys are stuck with Mbeumo deal.
Well, I think it's one deal at a time currently at the moment. That is why Manchester United are not trying to sign too many players at the same time. We don't have the capacity at the moment. We want to sort out Mbeumo and then look forward to who is going to be next, and then deal with him too.
All right, so Manchester United fans, let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Why are you guys not selling? Why are you guys not selling? What do you think that is the problem? Why you guys are not selling? Tell us down in the comment section, and don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms at Football Analysis 247, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next one.